Gonna make some hiking food. Lightweight hiking food. Why am I looking in here? You get to see my dirty cupboards. I'm gonna do some beef and just got to coat this with oil. Don't really want much oil because the stuff doesn't dehydrate. Alright, got to that stage. I'm just going to season it with a little bit of garlic. I don't like using salt in these things because you want it to last, and salt is, well, it should be alright, Cryovac. It's not going to attract moisture, is it? We'll do it. A few chilies. Not too much, because I'll be putting it with other things. Definitely pepper. Definitely pepper. And I was going to add salt. Yeah, a bit won't hurt. Not too much. Just remember, this is just a plain beef to add to meals. I'll show you later what I mean. I make up dried meals like you buy those. Here's an example: pasta snacks, teriyaki and garlic and rice. Singles, carbonara, stuff like that. I've got plenty more. Even this instant mashed potato with onion, I buy that and I put that in a different pack. And basically you add the beef to that, Cryovac it in a bag, which I'll show you later, and that's like a meal for hiking. A lot cheaper than, you know, those single serves, which aren't enough from the pre-made stuff. Is $10, $11. The double's like $15 for a meal, and they don't fill me. It gets quite expensive. Alright, so we'll mix those herbs through. And I almost forgot, I better put the beef stock in while I've still got some moisture. Almost forgot. I'm going to break this up into powder. I'd normally use powdered beef stock, but I don't have any, so this is just as good. Get rid of most of the liquid, put it on a tray in a dehydrator, which is up there. So I better go and set that up. As you can see, that's starting to thicken up. I actually put the tiniest little bit of flour in there, guys, just to thicken up that gravy a bit and make it stick to the meat. Like literally just a sprinkle. There's plenty, because there is other stuff in there. So that's almost ready to go in the dehydrator. I just want to get rid of some of that bit more juice or water out of there. Won't hurt. Doesn't hurt to overcook it a little bit. I'm gonna have to think about lunch soon. Got a few other dehydrated meals, like ones I'll show you that I'll do real quick that don't involve any cooking. You buy already dehydrated vegetables and stuff like that, which was what I was going to do and I forgot. I'm going to put a layer of dehydrated veggies on top of this, because I need to do some of them as well. I may as well show you quickly how I do my dehydrated vegetables. And then I'm going to do some washing up. What we need is some baking paper. There it is. We'll do one tray. Some baking paper, about the size of the tray. Oops. Never could tear those things properly. Then we fold it in half. And fold it in half again. We rip semicircle out. Cut it if you want, but whatever. Okay, just stop most of them from falling down. It'll be alright once I put some on there. My ripping of the semicircle, not the best. Should be right. Should be right on the night. And all I use is, even though I don't like corn, Country Harvest mixed veggies. Don't have to chop it, you don't have to worry about it. It's easy. Now these are frozen, so I'll take some time. Got to give you a lot of corn. Lucky I like corn. I'll just spread them out, they'll be right. Escapees. Get it? Escapees? Haha! Jeez, I'm funny. Cracked me up. Corn must have been cheap that month. Prices on corn are down. I know, let's fill up our mixed veggies with corn. Assholes. Vegetables I usually do longer, slower, but because I've got beef in there, I'm going to put it on about 65 because I'm in a hurry. Normally about 60. 60 might take, a full thing of beef at 60 took me about 9 hours. So all locked in, ready to go. Make the place smell good. We're on. So I'll leave it on that. That's it for now. Okay, I forgot to press record, but what we're doing is making breakfast for the trail. These bags could have been a bit bigger, but whatever, makes it a bit harder. Put some all brown muesli. I like the stuff. It's got the dried fruit stuff in it. Just shake that down. Should be enough. That's like six spoons. And get some powdered milk. One, maybe 1.5. Tap it down. It's going to be awkward because I should have made the bag a bit bigger. I'll tap that down later. I've got to get it to sit in the old Cryovac machine. Let's see. Should be alright. Vacuum seal. And there you go. Definitely makes a size difference, guys. So milk and muesli, weight wise, should last a while too. Get out of the way, phone. Zero in. It is 71 grams. So that's, 90 grams or 100 grams is probably what I'd eat. So once you add water and you got your milk in it there, that's it pretty much. So what are we looking at? 72 grams or 2.5 ounces. Yeah, that's one breakfast for the trail. Pretty cool, I reckon. Go ahead and make some more of them up and yeah, save them for the 6 foot trek. Alright, well there's some made up. I got 6 out of a small packet of muesli. I actually had one before for lunch to try it out. They've got powdered milk in there and muesli, that's pretty much it. You just add a bit of cold water, mix it up, and then add a bit more water to get the consistency you want. They actually come out really, really good, guys. And they weigh, we already went through this. Oh, well that one's in between 70 to 80 grams, that one's 75. I'm not real fussy. 2.6 ounces. All good. So now we'll go and make some more, gonna make some desserts up. This should be fun. Okay. Here's some ideas for dessert. I buy the Foster's Clark brand quick custard because it's, you can actually just mix it up in cold water. You don't need to, there's no preparation, so it's better for hiking. I'll get 2, how much does it make? 30 in 2 minutes. Here's my recipe, blah blah blah. I think it makes, 1 cup. Sugar. 2 teaspoons of sugar and 1 1/4 cups of water. So don't forget the sugar. Sugar we have here. Alright, so I've got our 2 bags here. Excuse me. Got our 2 bags, so we know we need a teaspoon of sugar. A little bit more. Like so. It's 1. We don't need the milk anymore. And then what I'm going to do is try and get this half-half. One. The other bag. I'm not sure what it actually have in there. 13 grams, that's alright. Another one in. Alright, that's that. And then we have, last time I did this I just bought dried, what do you call them? Blueberries and stuff. I'm going to try it with a mixed fruit medley. See how that goes. I usually do this when I cook, I usually do it with warm water or hot water. Comes out yum. Put some of these in here. Let's bring it up to 170 grams. That'll do. Obviously I'm going to do the same with the next one. Take it over to the machine. I love watching this. Done. And that's actually a really good sized dessert. Like, you could probably half that. There's a lot of custard and fruit in there, but you know, it's yum, so why not? It's total weight. 170, yeah. So yeah, do another one of them up. And as always, let's label it. I can't remember how to spell custard. Mustard. Fruit, and it can be cold water or hot water, depending on which way you like it. There's another idea. Yummy things on the trail. Alright guys, I'll do a few more of these up, and the next one I make will be like a lunchtime or something like that snack, and I'll show you that. Ciao. There's the off button. Okay, the beef's ready because it was in the bottom and it was really hot. It could be de-dried, like if I was doing jerky I would leave it in a lot longer, but since I'm using a Cryovac machine, you can get away with a little bit of moisture in there, and I'm going to be eating that soon, so yeah, it's not like I want it to last 12 months or something like that. So what we do for a main meal, what I'm going to have is basically pasta, veggies and meat, for this one anyway. So what I go and do is I go and buy something like the San Remo single snack. They're really good. This is a new one I want to try from Continental with parmesan and bacon. What you got to watch out for is, most of them say to add milk. Go off the stovetop directions because you're not using a microwave. So you want 3/4 a cup of milk. In a cup of milk I normally put 1 teaspoon of milk powder. 3/4 of a cup, you know, I'd put a teaspoon anyway. It's not going to make much difference. So what we do, actually if you get these ones, the mug shots, I just found them today. You don't have to add anything. It's basically add water, stir, 5 minutes later it's ready. So if you want to go that route, which I'm going to try out, you don't have to add milk to it. I've always used these. They've always come out good. We'll try that out later. So what you do is, let's go for the simple one. I'm not going to actually do this now because the vegetables are still dehydrating and I don't really want to stuff it up by putting them in when they're not ready. So, and they probably won't be ready till late tonight, and I've got stuff on, so we're going to do a bit of a mock-up for you. Hopefully you've got the idea from the last few videos. Oh, and by the way guys, if you don't have a Cryovac bag, you can use just a Ziploc bag for things like this. The Cryovac machine and the bag make things so much easier, lighter and smaller to carry, that's all. And they do last longer. Like if I was going to use a Ziploc bag for a main meal like this, I'd make sure that I was going to eat it within, you know, a week. Because it's got fresh protein in it. If you don't use that, you just use the vegetables dehydrated and the pasta, and you know, you can get away for a lot longer. But anyway, for today's argument we're using the Cryovac machine. So we pour the pasta in the bag. There you go. Obviously without the packet. You pour the pasta in. I would put a tablespoon of powdered milk. This is just instant full cream powdered milk, warm or cold water. Get the one that says warm or cold water because it's just easier. And then I would put, remember this was a whole steak, so half, maybe I'll split it into thirds because I've got a lot of pasta in there and I'm going to have a lot of veggies in there. So we'll say just under half of that goes in the bag, and then the veggies, which are still going, I mean that was enough for 3 servings, maybe 2 if you're a big eater. So split that in half, put it in one of the bags, or thirds, put it in one of the bags, probably thirds on that. Put it in the bag. So you've got your milk, your pasta and your meat in there. As before, take it over to the machine, seal it up and you're done. And when it comes time to cooking this stuff, because I've got big chunks of meat, I tend to boil it up. Like the other thing is too, what I can do, or what I probably will do with this one, bear in mind these are not like factory made dehydrated meals, so you have to be, you know, they might take a bit more doing, but one of these things, the Stanley flasks, you can put some warm water, cold water even in there, put your meal in there, lock it up, put it in your bag, do it in the morning. It sits there all day, rehydrates. You get it out, pour it into your pot, boil it up, let it simmer for a while until the meat's tender, because that's going to be the hardest thing to rehydrate, and it should be ready to go. As far as the amount of water you would put in it, I usually follow the directions on the back of the pasta that I'm using, and a little bit more doesn't hurt. Follow the directions here as well, like it says 1 cup of water. I would put a cup of water, boil it up, warm it up, leave it in this for a day, whatever, and then when I'm ready to eat it, if it needs more, then I'll give it a bit more. If it needs less, I'll just simmer it for a bit longer, get rid of some of that water. But yeah, all in all, that should come out like a meal like that. As far as eating out of these bags, they are food safe. I don't know how they're going to react to putting hot water in them. I don't do it. I usually just carry the one little pot and everything gets eaten out of that. So, oh, and I forgot, I had a couple of bits on here rehydrating just to test. Just want to see what they come out like. I don't know if you've ever had the country, whatever they are, the commercially made dehydrated meals, but you'll find the meat chunks in there are quite small, and no matter how long you hydrate them, they're always a bit chewy, and the consistency of meat's not really there. The flavour's there, but you know, doing it this way, it is a little bit better, just a little bit. It's the same thing. It's still going to be boiled meat. Like, for example, it's probably a bit early. That only just came to the boil. I'd probably let it sit for a while. It's not too bad. Actually tastes very similar to the commercial ones. It's a little bit hard, but it needs to be hydrated a bit longer, so we'll see what happens with that. And actually it's quite good. Yeah, it's quite good, and it was topside steak, which is not the best steak in the world for doing this sort of thing. Well, it is because it's got no fat in it, but it's not the best eating steak in the world because it is very lean and very dry. So, you know, can't expect miracles, so to speak. But anyway, guys, that's it for now. If you've got any questions or anything like that, like I've showed you a breakfast, I even showed you a dessert, a main meal, lunches and things like that. I don't know. I'm not, like, I usually have a late breakfast. I'm not big on having an early breakfast. So that's usually breakfast and lunch, and I sort of snack through the day. But yeah, I do have other ideas, and as soon as I get time, I better turn that back on, I'll post them up for you. Thanks, guys.
Do not forget, guys. Like, share, subscribe.